Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones in the Woo-Woo. Hi there, I am Gayle Nicholson, your Dragon Slayer Crone with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista. She's our traveling crystal crone. And as always, supporting us from below, we have our Stargazer Crone, Damaris Samolinski, with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Thank you all so much for joining us today, whether you're live or watching on replay. Please make a comment down below so that we know that you're out there, not just little hashtags on the top of the little screen I got here. Really love that when you come and show up and interact with us and make everything like so much more fun than it is when we're just talking to dead air. Hello, Hair Bear. How are you? It's so wonderful to hear from you this week. Wonderful to see you. Awesome. Ladies, how is things going in your corner of the world?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. My corner is really great. It's a bit crazy. My kids, 2 of my 3 children are home for the summer, the G's as we like to refer to them, Gregory and Genevieve. And so they're home for the summer. And the really cool thing about it this year is that they're actually going to go out and explore. And they're actually going to, have college European experience by putting the backpacks on, riding the rails. Actually, they're going to ride rails, and they're actually going to take cheap plane rides because, when you're here in Europe and you know how to work the flight system, you can get some relatively inexpensive, not like, free, but relatively inexpensive flights. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember
So it's exciting stuff.
You could puddle jump to Chicago. It's like 6-hour drive. It's literally less than an hour in the air. And you could get those pretty cheap. So there's got to be a lot like that around you with all the small little countries.
Yeah, it is. So they're right now in Germany, in Bonn, Germany. That's where Beethoven was born. Mm-hmm. For those who are familiar, they also have an amazing cherry blossom street in the spring. We haven't been there yet, but I probably won't make it, at least in this journey of me being in Europe. And then they're going to come home for a couple of days, and then they're on a flight to Italy. Wow. And that's the flight. They're going to go to Pisa, Florence, and Rome, and then they're going to fly from Rome into Budapest, Hungary. Yeah. Nice. So Jenna's already been to Genevieve's been to Budapest, but she's like, oh, this is a great place to go. And so her friend came in from college. His name is Josh. And he just arrived today in Frankfurt. That's why they're in Bonn, Germany. And they're all going to travel together. Then they're going to fly back for Pink Pop, which is 3 days of us living like rock stars, because we are going to be like inundated with all these bands. It's like
nice.
Awesome. It is so awesome. 3 days of rock and roll. And then I don't know what they're probably going to do a lot of traveling around here in our area, because there's a lot to see and do. We were where I live in the Netherlands was the breadbasket of the Roman Empire, like the northern part of the Roman Empire, as they were crossing over and into Great Britain, and what we consider now Great Britain. It was not Great Britain at that point. But
Yep.
yeah, and you know, so yeah, it was fantastic. It's a fantastic area. There's so much history here. Plus, for World War II buffs, hello, I am like living in the middle of Martin Garden. You know,
I
you're
know
gonna know what that
your
is.
pictures have been just outstanding these last few days.
Yes,
Over
yeah,
Memorial
haven't
Day
they?
here. I'm sure they don't celebrate Memorial Day the same day where you're at, but you've been doing the full tour of the fields and the graveyards, and I've loved every bit of it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so we went to the local ceremony at our American battlefield cemetery we have, which is for essentially the Martin Garden um, battle. That isn't really it. It was I forget what they call it, but in any case, there's a movie. It's called A Bridge Too Far. Watch it.
Okay.
It actually is really good. It's one hell of a cast, and I live right in the middle of where all that happened.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, but you know, for us, it's only a 30-minute drive to that particular cemetery. And we've gone there a number of times, and we bring our friends because, of course, a lot of people who have come to visit us are all military folk themselves. So we go and visit it. But yeah, they don't celebrate Memorial Day in a sense how we do. However, oddly enough, it was a Dutch national holiday because it was Whit Monday. I forget how they say Monday in Dutch, but it essentially is White Monday, Pentecostal Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, which is yes, it is a Catholic for Catholics who are watching. Yes, that is a Catholic holiday.
Oh.
This part of the Netherlands still has quite a lot. Well, it's the Catholic part of the Netherlands. I'm not going to say that it's an active Catholic part of the Netherlands, but I'm not going to say it's not either.
Okay. That's interesting. So, they have a religious like Pentecost Monday, and which I've never heard of before. So my brain's going, why have I never heard of this before?
Yes.
As a bank holiday, like a federal holiday. That's kind of
yeah. Well, a lot. So I equate a lot of the holidays that they have here. They all originated as religious holidays and religious days off. However, I think they've just translated now to days off.
Ah, gotcha.
If that, you know, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Christmas, you know,
Yeah.
as a religious holiday, we've just basically transferred into being a day off, you know, and that kind of thing. That way.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is.
Well,
so I have my question. When we're ready, I have one question.
With Damaris for how her last few days have been going as well.
Oh, they've been going great. I was home just hanging out with the kids and my husband. It was a nice holiday. The weather was awesome. We also planted more flowers. I love flowers, so we were doing that. It was really nice, and we barbecued. It wasn't like we took walks and stuff. It wasn't like it was very like regular, let's say Memorial Days where you see a lot of people and they're all having parties. It wasn't like that this time. Not around here anyway. It was weird. It was like, what's going on? Where is everybody?
They're at the airports.
Yeah. Yeah, the airports. Yeah, it's interesting. Here we had I kind of like I've been so busy lately that for Memorial Day, what I did was cleaned my house.
That's good.
That's good.
It was good, but then I ran a couple of errands and I was like, well, why are they wearing American flag shirts? People are, okay. Yeah. And it's not like I didn't know ahead of time going into the weekend, but the actual Monday, I was looking forward to not having to do anything except for take care of my own stuff and my world went real small, real quick, you know. And I completely forgot we even had a parade going through town.
Oh,
So,
you did?
Yeah, we had a parade, and I completely zoned on it. I just out of my head completely until I saw photo or videos today. But it was a nice weekend. The weather's been gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It has been.
You know, and you know, Harry was telling me about how he and his mom had gone and put flowers and plants on different people's graves and stuff like that. So beautiful. And I kind of got present to, oh geez, that's not something that I do. It's something my godmother used to do. Yeah. But it sucks when you come from a family where when people die, you don't want to remember them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, it's an unusual place to be. Anyways, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but you know, it was an interesting weekend as well. And I know that you got gorgeous weather down there, Damaris, just as
beautiful. Sunny, no rain, and the weather was beautiful. Like just absolutely gorgeous.
Wonderful.
All right, Miss Krista, what's this question burning a hole in your head?
Okay, so since it was Memorial Day weekend, and yes, it's a time to observe those who have fallen. Mm-hmm. However, we also recognize it as a beginning date in the United States of summer.
Yeah.
And summer, you know, means ice cream. Well, you know what I mean? It really kind of does. So my question is, if you walk in to an ice cream store, we're talking Ben and Jerry's, 31 flavors, or, you know, like New England is known for all those really local quirky places that have these amazing blends and flavors. What ice cream would you pick? And would you pick 1 scoop, 2 scoops, or 3 scoops? Ooh. Oh, and cone?
Pick me. Sorry.
And are you going to pick a cone or a dish? And if it's a cone, is it a sugar cone or a plain one? Okay.
One question with like 5 levels of hell attack.
I know, but it's ice cream. Come on now.
Go ahead, Gayle.
All right. So I'm living vicariously through you, all right? Gayle.
So here's the thing that I have been actually kind of pointing out most of the last 6 months or so. In Arizona, it is so hot that ice cream is like not even a thing, right? You don't go get ice cream, right? Because it will just melt. Even in February, you know, it gets starts touching around 80 degrees at the end of February. Forget it. All bets are off. But Vermont, you can walk into any gas station and get some of the best fucking ice cream in the middle of December. And people are walking around eating ice cream with parkas on, you know? Yep. And it's just, it's a very weird thing to me, you know? But to answer the question more fully, I go to Stewart's, which is a gas station, which is a small little and Cumberland Farms has their own version as well, right? Okay. Stewart's is really, really good. It's all like local cows and stuff like that making the milk, and you can only get approved to be supplier for Stewart's if you meet certain high level criteria and stuff. Criteria? Right. And so I walk in there and my 2 go-to flavors are black cherry and butter pecan on the same waffle cone.
Yummy.
Yeah. So that's my answer. Ooh, look at this.
Let's see.
Maple walnut. Okay, Hair Bear, is it in a cone, a cup? Come on, you gotta give us all. And do you add extra stuff onto it? See, for me, I'm a purist. All right, so Damaris, you walk into your favorite ice cream place.
Mint chocolate chip on a sugar cone with sprinkles. I like. My other one would be, I like the peanut butter ones, like peanut butter swirl. So that's the second one.
Yummy. I really like that. That's really good too. That's yummy. All right. So for me, so if I'm going to pretend I'm in New England.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll pretend I'm there because they make it. Well, it was up in Wells Beach, Maine. There's this ice cream store. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. Although Rococo is pretty good too, and they're in Kennebunkport. However, the one that I'm thinking of in Wells Beach, Maine, they make a blueberry cobbler ice cream that it is like, and it has the pie crust in it, or and
Nice.
like the top, and it's this yummy blueberry, and it's like oh, on their homemade waffle cones that they make. You watch them make the waffle cones.
We're gonna have to go there.
OMG, it's off the hook. It really is off the hook. Now I just mentioned Rococo. They're in Kennebunkport. It all will depend on what flavor they've made for the day. You want exotic ice cream? Go to Rococo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I haven't had a bad one yet.
Nice.
Yeah, but you
that's in Maine.
It's called Rococo.
Yeah, but
it's the name of the company.
In Maine?
It's the name, and it's in Maine, Kennebunkport, Maine.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and actually, we know their family. We know the owner's family, so it's a very yummy. They're inspired by all their travels. That's what inspires the flavors.
It sounds delicious.
It is. So for me, I like, that's kind of a fun thing, going in. Now, if I were to buy it like in the grocery store, B&J's fish food.
Fish food, really? Really?
I like fish food. B&J fish food.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Coffee and a butter pecan. Ooh.
Oh, and whipped cream. And a cup with whipped cream. Nice. Yeah, yummy.
Sprinkles, Chris? You gotta get sprinkles on top of the whipped cream, don't you?
Yeah. Well, could be pecans or sprinkles.
That's good. That's good too. Harry does the whole plain cone thing.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That is. So that's my question. We're going to go with the one today. I have another. Do you want a second question, or should I just stop with the one?
Put that question in the chat, and then let's shoot for another question today. What's going on? What do you have?
Okay, my next question for the day is, what do you have in your trunk at the moment?
A lot of junk in my trunk.
I have shopping bags and an umbrella. That's what I have in my trunk.
Yeah. And
in
so
New York, we have to bring our own bag. So otherwise you get charged 5 cents per bag. So we all buy, like I have fabric bags, and then I wash them and put them back in my trunk. So I have bags and an umbrella, because you never know.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's good. So,
Go ahead.
And so what's your junk there, Gayle?
Oh, about 20 pounds of menopausal weight right there in my trunk.
I'm meaning your car.
Oh, well, see, I got a Pathfinder SUV, so I don't technically have a trunk.
Yeah.
However, that technicality passed by. I have a ramp, and I have a dairy case that has in it tire inflator, 4 grocery bags, and a step stool.
Okay.
I have the step
because everybody should carry a dairy case in there, in the back of their truck.
What we used to store the albums in back in the 70s.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That,
right.
a dairy, to put milk in thing.
Yeah.
Square box.
I got you a crate.
So a crate. Thank you.
Milk crate.
It just keeps everything from, flying all over that large back area that has a lot of space. And the ramp is for my dog to crawl up into the back of it.
Oh,
that's so sweet. You're such a good mama. Okay, so I have grocery bags as well
Uh-huh.
because here in Europe, you buy your bags unless you bring your own bags.
Yeah.
And I have a bag that has returns in it for H&M, so I have to go do that tomorrow. And then I have a blanket because I usually keep it in there in case you get cold. You never know when you're going to get cold.
Yeah.
And I think that's all right now
Nice.
in the back of my trunk.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Harry's
So
bags, grocery bags, just like it's kind of blowing my mind how far flung the whole, linen bags or cloth bags for bringing your groceries home has gotten, both in Europe and in the Northeast, because they're still doing plastic bags out in the Southwest and in Michigan. Yeah, for 2 bird crates. There you go.
there you go. There you go. Yeah, I don't know if you know, Chris has birds.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris, you should post some of the pictures of your birds in the group and show us them.
Yeah, so we can see them.
Yeah.
And they can be very chatty.
Awesome. All right.
Right.
Ready to blow this to go?
All right. So let's talk about the Gemini season that we just went into Gemini recently. But Gemini is all about like moving forward. It's active, is alive. It's like, being, I guess in the winter time we were procrastinating, or we were like, in home. The Gemini season wants us to go out, be alive, move forward. The issue is, though, we have all of these planets still in Taurus. We have the North Node in Taurus. We have Jupiter. We have Uranus. You have Mercury still in the shadow, retrograde shadow phase, still in Taurus. And Taurus is not so much of a risk taker as Gemini. Taurus is more practical. It wants to make sure that moving forward, you have something solid to rely on and not just jump like a Gemini, right? Gemini just
Thank you. You've just answered why I am packing 2 weeks before my trip.
What do you mean? Explain.
Well, I'm going to Vegas. I leave Vermont on the 12th to drive to Michigan to fly out from there with a friend. And I wish I could turn my camera around. I got my hard-sided luggage there. I got my soft-sided luggage there. I got my beach cooler that's got the music and everything for all my little potions that I make for myself in the morning. So I'm like setting everything up to know, can I ship this? Do I have to carry this? Does this go on my carry-on?
You're being a Taurus.
Being a Taurus, I'm being very practical about the whole damn thing. Whereas in the past, when I was in Arizona, I'd just grab a go bag and let's do this,
That was the Gemini energy. I love it. I love how you explain it with your own life experiences, because that's exactly what it is, Taurus, so there's this push and pull where Gemini wants to push and Taurus wants to pull back. You know what I mean? And so that's going on. Also, I was looking back, and Gemini, there was Mercury. Well, actually, Venus was in retrograde in 2020 in Gemini. In 2021, it was Mercury retrograde in Gemini. And then 2022, it was Mars retrograde in Gemini. So all of these retrogrades were in Gemini for the last, 3 years, these personal planets. And so now with the sun in Gemini, what it's doing, it's highlighting some of the things that were in retrograde for each of us. Back from 2020, 2021, 2022, and these personal planets. And so it's revealing things to us that were probably hidden from us, where it's wanting us to move forward and shift into, a new us, so to speak. And so, but again, because of that Taurus energy is pulling back, because again, Taurus wants us to be practical and not be such risk takers. But where do you find the balance there, right? It's like we've been procrastinating, so to speak, in jumping forward. And we want to make sure that we're jumping into a solid foundation, so to speak. But then does that leave us like stuck in a way? Or do we just jump and see what happens? I think of the Fool card in the tarot, where it's like he's just moving along. He's not worried about, falling off the precipice, so to speak.
Mhm.
And he's just moving, or she, moving forward, and, knowing that it'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? So for each of us, the question would be that I would impose this week is like, do you want to stay in the comfort zone, more in the, procrastination mode of Taurus, or do you want to be in that Gemini energy and just jump and see what happens, see what's available, see what's possible, or what opportunity awaits us? Again, these retrograding, energies of these planets, all in Gemini, are now revealing to us what was hidden from us. I always think of the masculine and the feminine energy, because the masculine is that energy that, is the action taker. The feminine is more of the passive, right? The masculine is more the aggressive. So it's that passive aggressive energy. And what do we do with that? I mean, I really don't want to be stagnant anymore. I want to move forward and just see what's possible. And I don't know for you ladies, well, I'll ask you guys, what do you guys think about that?
Oh, definitely like raring to go.
Yes.
Interestingly, though, especially with what you're talking about right now, I was watching one of those For You readings on TikTok the other day, and it was basically the first part of it was there's things that want to come in, but you ain't ready for it yet.
Yes.
Right?
Was that Adam?
That's
no,
exactly
it wasn't,
what
but I love him. He's awesome.
He's
Oh my
so
God.
funny. He shows up every now and again in my feed, and I don't go looking for him. And today he showed up in my feed, and it's like, if I've come across your feed, this is messages for you, and I'm like, oh well, then I guess I should pay attention to what Adam
exactly.
Right? No, he's amazing. I just
he is. He's really good.
Yeah.
But you're right. If we're not ready,
she pulled a couple of other cards, and she's like, and this is how you prepare. The parts that you're not prepared for. This is how you prepare. And I got distracted, and I can't find the damn thing again. But that's frustrates me. But that's the same kind of thing, right? It's like I'm like, I want to be in Vegas now, and by the state of my packing, not yet, but we're getting there, I am not ready to get on the plane just yet.
Yes. So it's that, push and pull again, like I was saying. And like, at what point do we just say, screw it, and let's jump, let's do it, and see what happens. I feel like I'm at that point. I'm more that masculine energy, want to take that action rather than be passive about it with that feminine energy, and so again, that's like that Gemini Taurus energy too going on.
And for me, the weather makes a whole, huge difference too. It's gorgeous outside. It's so warm. These people think it's hot, and I just chuckle at them. This is not hot.
I also will ask you guys really quick. So have you seen anything that has been revealing to you since 2020 on a personal level? Since 2020, like I said, Venus was in retrograde. 2021, it was Mercury, and then Mars 2022, all in Gemini. So is anything coming up that's revealing that can help you shift from one mindset to another, with all of these, retrogrades, and then the sun highlighting, all of these themes of these retrogrades?
Well, 2020 was kind of when my relationship began to end.
Okay.
So Venus retrograde, we're talking about the pulling back of love.
Yes.
In general.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the next one, the Mercury in retrograde, there was a lot of things that I needed to process through, but I couldn't talk to anybody about it, right? Whether it was my own secrets or I didn't have a person that I could trust with my secrets, or whatever the case may be. There was a lot of not being able to talk about the whole.
Yeah.
And now
Mars,
last
2022.
year was Mars.
Yeah.
Last year, about right around this time, actually, I was begging the moon to get me the fuck out of where I was.
Yes, you were.
Yes, I was.
I love how just blunt you are. Oh my God.
No, she really was. And I remember
I
that.
remember. I mean, we
I was like, it's time to move.
Yeah.
It's
So here's
amazing.
the thing. So now with the sun illuminating all of this, right?
Yes.
It's like God is going, or whatever label you want to put on the
force,
the universe in the universe, right?
Yep.
Is going, see, I told you couldn't have a man and do this too.
It's crazy, like how
because I would get so distracted and so devoted to them that I couldn't do the stuff that was for me, and even in the job, the day job that I've got now, I do an awful lot of, waitressing and working the cashier at retail. You do a lot of real surface level flirting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it means nothing. It's just making people smile.
Of
right.
course.
Yeah.
But with the relationships that I have been in, I wouldn't have been long for those jobs. I wouldn't have, there would not have been the freedom to be myself.
I love it.
In a partnership, or, even to be able to go, well, I want to go do this, so I'm going to go do this.
And that's really all Gemini energy. That's really, you are describing all that energy in Gemini. For me, really quick, and then we can ask Krista really quick. For me, it was the love of my store, that I was closing my store in 2020. And that was a love for me. It wasn't a guy. It wasn't my husband. It was the love of this brick and mortar. That to me, it made part of my identity, so to speak. So I was, I was closing that through the shutdowns, and I was letting that go. And so that was very painful, if you will. It was bittersweet. And then Mercury was figuring out, okay, why do I do it at a store? People can't just walk into my house now. You know what I mean? And how do I get clients? And so it was just that whole reflection of that. And then the Mars energy also was like, okay, things are getting back into where, action taking, the shutdowns are, things are more open now, whatever. Do I go back into a store? Do I stay home? Things like that. I stayed home because just the energy is, it's still unstable. So I'm being more of a tourist and taking that risk of opening up another store right now when the economy is just crazy. So that's how it played out for me. What about you, Krista?
Yeah, for me, a lot happened in 2020. During this time, it was mourning a part of me that I had to let go of.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, for me, it was just letting go of an identity that I once had, but no longer had.
Yeah.
So I had to reinvent who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then in 2021, I was still in that. I mean, I was kind of, because we were in where I was, we were in a still a lockdown.
Yeah.
I was still trying to figure out who I was, but seeing that I could transform. I felt like that I was almost a caterpillar inside of a chrysalis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that I was transforming, and I knew that there was that it was going to be. I could sense that there was going to be leveling of this transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I was able to let go in a healthier way. At this time last year, of I was ready to let go of my leadership.
Okay.
my being a military spouse, a senior spouse, and being in that leadership position, but knowing that my leadership wasn't, it didn't diminish, and knowing that I was able and what I do and what we do, right? I mean, I had people seeking me out to teach meditation groups and to teach mindfulness. I mean, I still have people, like, hey, Krista, can you teach? And then in terms of what the sun is doing, I mean, that's it. It's like I keep asking universe, just show me.
Well, it is showing us. It's showing us that we're resilient, one, and that we can reinvent ourselves, and that, maybe we shouldn't stick to an identity. Like I had an identity with my store. You had it with that leadership. Gayle might have had it with that relationship. So it's like, we were able to let go of that and reinvent ourselves and be resilient,
Right.
And so I think it's doing a great thing,
It really is. It really is. I didn't think of it until I was seeing how the process was going. I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of was what the process was for me, if I really think about it in that sense.
Yeah. So these planets are communicating with the sign of Taurus and the sign of Gemini. And so it's showing us again how resilient we can be, and not to stick or to get attached to, something or someone. And the number 6 is all about Venus. I look at the number 3 I call it the Trinity, right? The Holy Trinity. But I feel like the 3, the 6, and the 9, which are the keys to the universe, according to Tesla, I feel like the let's say the number 3 would be the father energy, the 6 the mother energy, and the 9 would be the soul, the spirit energy, if you look at it from that perspective. And so it's all the mother energy, what are we creating inside this womb, let's say, of ourselves, especially with this Gemini energy, right? What are we creating that's new, that could be alive, that could be, fast moving, for the next year or a couple of years coming, right? So the Venus energy, which is that number 6, is all about domestication, but domestication could be so many different things, right? It doesn't just have to be you being at home. It also is taking care of the self, nurturing the self. So all of this energy, I feel like that number is also revealing things to us. Self-love, that Venus energy, the mother energy, the feminine, principle that we were talking about, being the passive, the receiver energy. So I feel like let's receive the information that we need, and then take the action that we need to take with caution of that Taurus energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for that, Damaris. That was really
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Baby, let's go.
Okay, I promise I'll make Greg or Jen a video while they're here this summer. One of them, maybe both of them, who knows? And you guys can all get excited. All right, so Jet. First of all, it is not really a stone. It is classified as a resin, or it's classified as it's an other than, but we call it a crystal. So jet is actually is tree. Miss Gayle and I were just having that conversation, and it's a tree that's been fossilized, but it's a very light stone. So this is my jet. I wear it as a bracelet, and I wear it as a protection stone for travel. So it is a fantastic stone for protection. and not just for travel, but it's in general. However, for me, I have always associated Jet as protection for travel. And I wear it because we do so much traveling. I'm constantly wearing it. It is also great for your emotional well-being. It's a great one because it is a grounding. It's a grounder. It's a protector. It is one that works with releasing and letting go and transmuting that we'll go negative or neutral energy that kind of weighs us down. So I think it's really perfect for what Damaris is talking about in terms of the Taurus Gemini, because of course, remember, Taurus is all about, it's a ground, it's a very, steadfast sign. Yes. So it grounds you and it protects you. Well, it still encourages you with the Gemini energy to be like, hey, get out there, you can do it. Because you have that cushion. Well, not really. Don't fall on Jet. I don't think it'd be very comfortable. I wouldn't. But yeah, no, it's really good. But it absorbs. It helps to absorb. It absorbs the energy that isn't yours. Or the energy that doesn't need to be in your space. So when you're out there exploring, so think about it as you're going on, exploring, having adventures. I really feel this sense of, a lot of people pushing their boundaries right now. I just have that in a positive way, not in a negative way. And Jet is just a really good one to help in terms of keeping you grounded while you're doing it, while you're exploring your own path, or figuring out what that path is. I was listening. Well, Damaris was talking about planting flowers, right? So I was listening to somebody earlier today, and I don't even remember who it was, but I thought it was a really good analogy, that it's really good to go out and plant your flowers and weed everybody else's out. So then you can be connected to your own thoughts and to your own energy. So think of it in terms of, you've planted your garden, and yes, your garden is your energy center, and you want those energies to be blossoming into beautiful, abundant blooms. So things like Jet helps you to make sure you're able to weed out all those flowers that you didn't plant it because they weren't yours to begin with.
Awesome. It looks like a black tourmaline too.
It can, but okay, so here's the big difference. Tourmaline has weight to it. Jet is far lighter.
Okay.
And it has almost a waxy feel. Remember, Gayle, when you were feeling Copal and Baltic Amber and the difference?
Yeah.
It's very similar to that.
I've never had a Jet stone, so I don't know.
Yeah,
so
it feels
you've been to the beach and you've picked up a piece of driftwood, right, Damaris?
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what Jet feels like. It's
okay.
It's not like tourmaline where you go, you did that.
Yeah, you're
on the table and you know it.
Yeah.
Jet's a lot lighter.
Okay.
Yes.
So it mostly feels like driftwood. Whereas
that's good.
Before we started the show, I said I was telling Krista it's wood, but it's not petrified. When wood petrifies, it's because mineralized water has gotten in all of its little airy spaces inside and solidified into rock. So petrified wood gets very heavy. Jet is not petrified. There's no mineralized water that's giving it weight. Right?
Okay.
That
it's
makes
just
yeah. Okay. Cool. I love it. I love it. All right. So we are going to quickly invite everybody to come out and join us with the Patreon. Amethyst level gets the Moon and Woo. And we are very, very excited about all of the other little pieces as well. All righty.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Allison made it today. Yay.
Hey, Allison, good to see you. And we
good.
will be having Moon and Woo this Monday, ladies.
Yes. Yes, we will.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And thank you, Harry, so much for vandalizing everything you possibly could with our QR stickers.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah, so
Thank you.
I sent my last of them with the G's, Gregory and Jenna. So I don't know if they'll be left throughout Germany, throughout Italy, throughout Hungary. Not that I had many, because I gave them all out to you guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I've been giving them out to, I think Harry was the one that encouraged me to stick it on the pole at Little City Cider Company. But we had permission. I will only vandalize with permission. I'm still crippled this way.
It's
So
okay.
funny.
Yeah.
You know, being married to a sailor. And if I don't do it, he happily does. He loves tagging.
Nice.
Well, he doesn't have ship stickers to leave in places. He's like, I'll just leave podcast stickers instead.
Well, we love the devotion. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
So much. All right, let's find out what this meeting or this event is supposed to be called. So before I get into my segment, I got to tell you, when I was trying to create the event for this, no less than 7 times, I rewrote the title of it, and I would go hit create, and it would come up with an error message that says, the name of the event is not valid. Please try again, and again, and again, and again. And it would not create the event until I actually put in the title of it. Facebook didn't like what I tried to call this event.
What?
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at what. So what do you think is employers' #1 distraction that loses productivity for their company called? It's called Facebook. So maybe they don't want you to stop Stealthy Self-Sabotage, because that's all about getting distracted from what it is that you're focused on doing. And, you know, Facebook is very, very good at that, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Stealth notifications to,
I'll be right back. You
know, deciding to get on there and share your opinion, and then suddenly you're 2 hours into an argument with a stranger that you don't give a damn about.
Oh my goodness.
Right? So, but here's what I really wanted to talk about, because this episode was not about Facebook at all. Maybe because that's one of my favorite distractions, but we'll set that aside for now. It's really about, you know, I love what you said earlier, Damaris, taking a look at the last 3 years since 2020, these retrogrades in Gemini and how they have impacted the overtones and themes of our lives and what there is to really look at right now.
Yeah.
Right? Hello, my lady. All right.
Hi, sorry.
So I want to encourage everyone to do that, to take a look at what Damaris was talking about. You know, take 5 minutes, write it down for yourself. And Krista, would you add to the chat what Damaris was saying about in 2020, it was Venus retrograde. In 2021, it was Mercury retrograde in Gemini. In 2022, it was Mars retrograde in Gemini. And now we're in 2023, we're dealing with the Sun in Gemini right now, right? So take a look at those 4 aspects, and possibly by taking a look at the first 3, you can see what your identity is trying to communicate to you, what your creator is trying to communicate to you, you know, and what's going to be going forward in that direction. Because in that as well, you'll be able to see the ways that you pull yourself off that path, whether it's checking your phone 50 billion times a day, you know, or if it's going smoking at work, right? Taking that 10 minutes to go out and have a cigarette, right? It is, and some people use it for a positive distraction, even though it's a negative impact.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know, you'll just get locked horns with somebody and you're just like, I'm going to go out and have a cigarette and change my attitude.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not trying to come down on people, but I'm saying that distraction sometimes, because there's an addiction of attached to it.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes it's not about breaking the negative energy that's in your space. Sometimes it's just, I'm addicted. I have to go smoke, but I need to be focused on this, but it's taking me away from this. Right. So looking at what there is to do, maybe quit smoking, maybe wear patches to work so that you can work uninterrupted and still have your nicotine needs met. Right. And like I said, I'm not coming in as a space of judgment. I'm just focusing on the things that we do that distract us. Yeah. Right. That self-sabotage us. Smoking is a big one because it does have a negative impact on us. Right. I've been indulging in something recently that's new for me, which is also another distraction that's also self-sabotaging. And that is, I'm buying cheap ass shit on Temu. I'm looking through there and I'm looking for my credits and I'm looking for my, percentage offs and, I'm buying stuff that some of it I need, some of it I could really do without. Right. And it is a distraction and it's self-sabotaging. I'm going to Vegas in 2 weeks. Do you think I could use the extra couple $100 I dropped in the last month? Yeah, I think maybe.
Yeah.
So I am no better than any one of you out there. I do the same thing. So take an inventory in your life, okay? Take a look at the things that you do that distract and self-sabotage you that are like under the radar, right? And then bring into it Krista's chat that will help keep you grounded in your purpose, watering your flowers, right? Helping you weed out the other people's flowers, helping you keep their shit out of your space, unless it's truly fertilizer as you travel through the world, right? Now, these are the things that you can do with where the planets are, where the crystals can benefit you as well, and what to do to shift your mindset so that you are not stealthy self-sabotaging any longer, right? Yeah. You're actually working towards whatever it is that you were created to be, that the universe has been clearing out of your space to bring you into the mindset to be able to actually execute over these last 3 years as the world has shut down and recalibrated for the age of Aquarius, where all of us as individuals will benefit humanity as a whole.
100%.
Right? This is the long game, people. This is the long game. And this is why astrology is more complicated than most human beings have the tolerance for. Right?
100%.
Because it can take years for things to unfold. It can take years for the different levels to get in place so your staircase is in motion, right? But in the meantime,
it could take lifetimes for people to not be stagnant. You know what I mean? People, because of the fear of change, they may just get stuck. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it can take them lifetimes to actually break free, their self-imposed prison.
Yes. But it's one of those things too, where you can't just depend on it taking lifetimes. It'll take further lifetimes, more lifetimes, if you're not doing your work along the way, especially your shadow work.
Yeah.
If
that's what I'm talking about. People get stuck in their own,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And you may have to, it may take years and lifetimes to unravel where it is that you're going, but it will take longer if you were not actively pursuing what is in front of you right now. Right? Absolutely. Let's see what a few people might have to say here. Thank you so much for the notes. Awesome.
Oh, my pleasure. I hope I have them all right.
I think you do. 20. Yep. Absolutely. Excellent.
All right.
And happy birthday, Allison.
Happy birthday.
Yay. How wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So congratulations on your last trip around the sun. Prepare for the next.
That's right.
And she's a Gemini.
She's a Gemini, yes. Do you know what? Genevieve's current boyfriend, he's a Gemini as well.
Is he the one that just arrived in Germany?
No, that's her friend.
Oh, cool.
And his birthday, Josh's birthday, her friend that just arrived, his birthday's the day before my birthday.
Oh, no
For a
kidding.
Gemini, this energy is even stronger than for the rest of us.
So yeah. But yeah, so the Gemini energy, that, I mean, I would love to hear, for what you've just talked about.
Mhm.
Like you said, it's stronger for the Gemini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And you
I'll
have
ask Barry
Gemini.
when he gets to Vegas, and we'll see how it is for him.
He's a Gemini?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You ask Barry.
I
Be
will.
like, hey,
I'll do my best.
when's his birthday? Barry's birthday? I know I should. June what?
17th.
My daughter's is the 16th.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Alex's birthday, Jenna's current boyfriend.
Ah. The
It's
same
June
day?
17th.
Wow.
No
17th.
kidding.
No shit. I was just like, wait a minute. That's why it rings a bell.
Yeah. There you go. Well, that's phenomenal. Happy birthday to him, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
a little bit
Yep.
about the energy of the tarot card for today.
Yes.
Okay. Are you
Yep.
ready for this?
5 of Pentacles.
Yeah. All right. Let me get in here because I want to tell you exactly what Galaxy Tarot said about it today. It kind of blew my mind a little bit. So today, let your fears and insecurities be a catalyst for change.
My God.
there you go.
Oh
Right?
my gosh.
Right? If you've been feeling incompetent in your work, think about what skills or new work habits will help you feel more confident. If you've been ill, take a look at your lifestyle and make some practical plans for healthy changes. Though it may not feel good, your fear is a valuable tool showing where you need to make changes. All right. So when this card appeared, your sense of security is threatened. All right. Maybe
Or it doesn't like that.
yeah. It may be that you actually lack the money or other resources you need, or that you're anxious that you're not able to meet your needs. You may be feeling ashamed or fearful of relying on the support of others. Ill health may be preventing you from securing material resources. It may also be that you have chosen to forego some material comfort voluntarily as a spiritual practice or in support of others. The lesson to be learned in this card is that you are not alone. Times of need are when we reach out to others or pursue spiritual practices. These social and spiritual connections are indispensable in allowing us to persevere through hard times. So once again, go back and do what Damaris walked us through today, right? What was happening for you over the last 3 years? What is the universe trying to highlight to you now so that you can persevere through the challenges that are still in line for you to become who you are? When this card appears, pay attention to the wealth that you have or that is readily available to you for the asking, right? And remember, wealth isn't only money. Wealth is friends. Wealth is love. Wealth is happiness. All of the better things to be wealthy in have nothing to do with money. Money just makes it a little more fun.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right, everyone, let's say congratulations to our woo-woo giveaway winner this week. Today, it is Allison Baker.
Yay! Congratulations, Allison.
Congratulations, Allison. Thank you so much for being part of 3 Crones in the Woo-Woo. For you and for anyone else who might not understand what we're talking about, each week, the three Crones give away 1 30-minute reading to a lucky member of the group. And all you have to do is reach out to whichever one of us Crones that you've chosen to do your reading, and we'll get you on the schedule right away. So if you choose me, it'll be an intuitive tarot reading. If you choose Miss Krista, it will be a crystal reading. And if you choose Miss Damaris, it will be a numerology reading. And of course, for anyone who has would like a reading from us who did not win, you can reach out to us at any time and chat with us and schedule something for yourself. Absolutely. All right. So thank you all very, very much for being part of the show this week. Thank you to my cohorts, Krista and Damaris. Thank you to Mama Crone, who always has whatever crystal that we've been talking about on tap for you, should you choose to purchase one. Unless she doesn't, and then she directs you to where you can find it. All right. Macy's like that. And we appreciate everyone who has a fingertip involved. That looked really bad. So fingertip involved in making this show as fun as it is every time that we come together to do it. So thank you. Thank you very, very much. And have a fantastic week ahead.